Hi everybody, welcome back to Can You Put Me on Guest List. I'm Katie Knight and this is the last episode of 2020. I was going to carry on recording over Christmas, but to be honest with you, I just feel like I need a little bit of a break. So I've decided that I'm just going to switch off over the Christmas period and I'll be back with more episodes in 2021. Now, I'm really, really happy to be ending this season with somebody really, really special. Today, I'm going to be talking with Laura Williams, also known as the Secret Inspirer. Laura supports both individuals or teams around the world in the entertainment industry to build their resilience and create that energy or bring back that energy that they need to thrive and to avoid burnout. So as we all know that this industry that we work in, maybe not so much right now, but it's very fast paced, it's very quick, things, time goes so quickly. So she works with different people in the industry just to make sure they find that balance. And as I said before, so they don't reach burnout. I recently did a 21 Days of Resilience challenge with Laura, and it couldn't have come at a more perfect time. It was 21 days of different thoughts, different talks, different tasks on how presence is power, stillness is a superpower, reminding ourselves that, we're exactly where we're meant to be and accepting what is. And just so many different things that have really, really helped me. So I wanted to get Laura on the show because we're obviously at a very crazy time. There's a lot going on in the world. And I know that there are a lot of people that are listening to the podcast that I know she could probably help too. So she has very, very kindly offered to give the opportunity to do the 21 Days of Resilience challenge to anybody that's listening to this podcast. So if you would like to sign up, I 100% recommend it. As I said, it really, really helped me. You can find all of the information in the description box below. So I just want to say a big, huge thank you for all of your support throughout this season, for listening, for sharing. I honestly really, really appreciate it. And I can't wait to bring you more episodes of Can You Put Me on Guest List next year. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you all have a lovely Christmas and I will see you all in the new year. Thank you so much. This is Laura Williams here on Can You Put Me on Guest List. I'm okay. I've had a bit of a funny morning, to be honest.
Tell me about it.
It's just Christmas travel drama, really.
Oh God, what's happened? Is it?
Well, my parents live on mainland Spain. And so they were supposed to be coming over on Wednesday. My brother lives in Denmark. And so they were all coming over on Wednesday to spend Christmas here. And then yesterday, where my parents live in mainland Spain, they announced new restrictions. So they're not allowed to leave where they're from their area.
So they've kind of gone into like a tier 3 situation here or a lockdown.
Yeah, but it doesn't actually go into effect until Monday.
Okay.
So we're trying to make it happen so they can come tomorrow. But it's just it's just that like horrible, anxious feeling of you're just so excited about something and then all of a sudden it's like,
I know.
But then I was like, I'm going to be speaking to Laura in a bit, so she's going to make me feel better.
I've had my poor mum, bless her. She lives up north. I'm in London. She's in Harrogate. And I've seen her like once or so this year. And I just talk to her all the time.
Oh.
You're like, right, you come down here, bring your fiance, and I'm going to do Christmas for you. Whatever happens, that's what we're going to do. I will lock myself in a cupboard for a month beforehand if that's what needs to happen, whatever. And then we've been given the 5 days to kind of move around in England.
Yeah.
Thank God, London just went into tier 3. And I mean, who knows? It's just the most bizarre year
it is
ever had. And, you know, if ever there was a year to kind of build our resilience, then this is the year, right?
It's definitely now. It's definitely now. It's just one thing after the next. Yesterday morning, I was talking to my mum. I was like, I'm so excited for you to come. And obviously, we both were a little bit anxious anyway if things are going to change. And I was like, nope. It's going to happen. You are definitely going to be here. And then I got the message in the afternoon. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God. It's like we can't count on anything. Like we can't plan anything. We can't count. And every time we count on something, it just falls away.
I know, exactly. So I know, that's it. So I think they're definitely going to make it to try and come tomorrow. But
I guess
we were just
a lot of people will be doing that, I guess, won't they?
Yeah, so everybody would start, but I don't have anything ready. I've got so much to do. Don't have enough balls, plates.
You've got your Christmas plan behind you.
I've got my Christmas plan. So we're good.
You're in a good you've got the sunshine.
I have a bottle of Bailey's in, so at least that's something.
I think this year actually it's kind of like helped us really focus in on what we need, what is important to us. Like absolutely cut out all the crap.
Yeah, absolutely. How have you found this year with your work? It must have been...
It's been a roller coaster, but it's been incredible. I mean, I'm kind of finishing on in quite an optimistic place, I think. I mean, I've tried to be optimistic this year, but like you say, every time you kind of change something or plan something, it kind of falls away.
Yeah.
Wasn't meant to be, but next thing. But yeah, I mean, I've had to completely redesign, redo my entire business, take it online, I was actually focusing in on resilience because I basically build resilience. I help people build resilience in entertainment and the music industry. And I was focusing on that specifically as my kind of proposition, towards maybe this time last year and then in January, at the beginning of the year. And then kind of the world kind of shifted and I was like, okay, so this is the time for me to kind of step up and to help people. And, you know, if I can't maintain my resilience or whatever in this, then who am I to do the job that I do?
Yeah.
Kind of like, okay, but yeah, just, I think everyone's had to do. You just kind of had to diversify, try different stuff, keep going, have a bit of a rest, lose your mind. Refigure it out, come back again, you know, and just figure out what kind of lands and what helps. And
yeah,
you know, and that's kind of, and it's bizarre because I've always wanted, I was saying to you, I've always loved Ibiza. I've been going for 20 years and my ultimate dream is to go and live in Ibiza in a beautiful villa, hold space there, have, you know, gorgeous retreats, have some of my clients come and visit me in my beautiful space. And one of the main things that was stopping me was obviously everything's kind of face to face. And I was like, okay, at the beginning of the year, I was like, I kind of need to make my business portable. I need to make it online.
Yeah.
And you've got to be careful what you wish for sometimes.
Here you go.
I was like, right, March happened. I was like, a load of projects, clients, everything kind of loads of beautiful music industry stuff that I prepped all last year. Kind of fell away, and then you're just kind of forced to do it, to live it, and you know, got everything online.
How have you found it working online?
Yeah, I mean, one of my main things is energy and connection and people, and I'm a blogger as well. That's probably been the hardest thing for me, not being able to touch people. But so I was like, I don't know. Even obviously before this year, there was the opportunity and the option to kind of do coaching online or face to face, and I kind of always tried to get people to do the face to face thing. Just because you're sat in a room, it kind of feels a bit more, I don't know, safer. People kind of open up a bit more. They're kind of in whatever. But it's actually worked really well.
Amazing.
Really, it's just translated really, really well. A lot better than I thought. And actually, for some people, it's easier because they're not having to travel. I'm not having to travel like a crazy person all over London for loads of meetings. I've saved hours and hours just not having to travel. But there's definitely certain things, as we know in music, there's certain things that have to be face to face,
of course,
live events, all of that kind of stuff, that energy that you get from physically being there, seeing someone perform, dancing, whatever, like you can, but you can't recreate that. So there's definitely some things, and certain like I do like lots of like resilience talks and stuff to teams, and I'll do, goal setting sessions and whatever. And there's literally no engagement at all.
It feels like you're talking to yourself, doesn't it? It's really weird feeling. I had to do something similar the other day, and I was like, this is really weird. I'm just kind of talking to myself in front of a camera, but there's other people watching, but I can't see them.
It's like if there was a camera in your house, like in your flat over this time. I did a talk to about 300 people last Friday. There was loads of tech issues. My slides didn't come up, so I had to completely wing it. And basically talk to a video of me talking, which was so bizarre. And then I got off the call and I was like, okay, right. On my own. I did this big motivational talk, and then I'm just sat there on my own.
Okay. I know, because then that's the other thing as well. It's like the technical issues as well. Technology makes me really nervous, and every time you have to do something that's live, something always seems to happen. Always happens. It's just like, obviously, I definitely do not miss that when I'm doing stuff face to face with people. But,
oh my God, the tech stuff. I mean, we had Mercury retrograde for a while, didn't we? A couple of points this year, and I was just like, okay, well, you just got to go with the flow. Just helping people realize, like, don't sweat the small stuff. If your screen freezes, if your slides don't show, if your stream freezes, whatever, like, you just kind of got to go with it, and it's just part of how it is now. Like, that's how life is, isn't it? And I always talk to my clients about when they're kind of worried about something, or they've got like a really overriding emotion about something. I ask them to kind of write it down and ask why, and almost like interrogate the emotion and find out what it is, like what's at the core of that emotion. And then I ask them to write down a list of the stuff that's in their control and the stuff that's out of their control. And I'm like, rip up that out of control list, burn it, do whatever you can, because it's out of your control. Like, let it go. And like, how often do we spend our lives like worrying and getting really anxious and overwhelmed about stuff that just isn't in our control?
Absolutely, like all the time. And those things that we worry about are literally things that we can't do anything about anyway.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. I would like to start just talking a little bit about how you actually got to where you are right now, and what was the reason behind you starting this journey. Let's start there.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, I've had 38 years on this planet as Laura. So it's quite a long journey, but I won't go into all of it. I think probably primarily the way that like I kind of got to The Secret Inspirer, kind of got to now doing what I'm doing. I've always loved people, like always had a fascination of people. I did a psychology degree like back in the day at uni. Like I just kind of like all that kind of stuff. But like, I don't know, people are everything, aren't they? And I love inspiring people. I love those conversations that you have with your friends where you're just kind of like, wow, I think I kind of helped them there, and they've just kind of gone away a little bit lighter, a little bit more optimistic, a little bit brighter or whatever. But I had one of those moments, I'm sure like everyone has a few of these moments in their lives where you have like a life-changing moment. And I had it about 4 years ago where everything fell apart. Like, you know, and it's funny, it happens all at the same time. Like in tarot, there's a tarot card, the Tower card. And if you get that card, you kind of know that like everything that is not meant to be is going. It was definitely one of those kind of moments where it all like fell apart, and it just kind of made me think like, what am I doing with my life? And I was working in a really awesome company, and I loved the people, but the job wasn't necessarily like fueling me or, you know, like igniting my soul and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't really making me feel amazing. So I was like, right, let's change this up. And I was speaking to a lot of people at the time. I was like, what on earth am I doing? I've been doing marketing for like 20 years or whatever. What can I do? And they were like, well, every time I speak to you, I feel like I can do anything. Like I can take on the world. Like, why don't you do some kind of coaching or whatever? So it kind of started with that. And I was like, okay, well, I'll get myself qualified, and all that kind of boring stuff. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll focus on like the entertainment industry and stuff because it kind of makes sense to me. I've got a lot of past employees and whatever, past employers in that kind of space. And then I'd always had this deep love for music. Like I was born, like my dad always says, I was born on the dark side of the moon because like he used to be a music promoter like back in the day. And we spent our weekends like me and my little brother spent our weekends kind of dancing to Pink Floyd and Bowie and the Stones, like loud music, like little kids, just dancing loud. And you just kind of have it, it's in your blood. And like we were taken to Pink Floyd at like the age of like 6 and 6 and 8. And my mum still, bless her, has tinnitus from that massive
bless her.
And like it was just, I don't know, music was just because always there in my life. And then I don't know, and there's loads and loads of more stuff that I could tell you all about that. But then Ibiza's always been in my life as well. And there's a weird connection because I was kind of like, okay, who do I want my clients to be? And I was like, do you know what? I really want to inspire the inspirers of the world. I feel like the artists of the world, the people in the music industry, inspire the world. Like their songwriting, their production, everything that they do. I'm just like, wow, they just give so much. And I want to be behind the scenes and kind of inspire them, help them. So, I mean, I used to always come to Ibiza. I've been coming for like 20 years. And a few years ago, I was in Dolt Villa and I was like, what's this party going on, this after party? And it was IMS.
Yeah.
International Music Summit after party. And I was like, what even is this? Like, how do you even go to something like this? And then a few years later, like jumped to pretty much last year and I was there and I was I'd already set up my business a couple of years before, focusing on music and, entertainment and whatever. And then I was in the panel, I was sat watching the panel where Avicii's dad, Class.
I was there too.
Yes, yeah, you were presenting.
Yeah.
And like Pete Tong was interviewing Class and just talking about, kind of the darker side and the harder side of the music industry and obviously what happened with Avicii. And I was just sat there and I was like, I am sat in this room for a reason. I feel like I am here to help people not get to that point. If there is anything I can do, way before, it gets to, the tragic loss of someone's life. Like if there's anything that I can do just to help people to not burn out, to reduce their anxiety, to reduce their stress, to kind of like love life even more and find the fun and all that kind of stuff. And it just kind of, you have a moment where you're like, right, all of the bits of my life just kind of mesh together. And I was like, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. What I'm feeling that is.
Oof, yeah. And then 2020 happened.
Oh,
plans changed a bit, and I've had to like rejig things around. I've done a lot of stuff this year that I've talked to a lot of people, like thousands of people over the year. But it's mostly been kind of like my backgrounds, like my kind of corporate clients and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I am ready to help the music industry get back on its feet as much, whatever happens, like let's fly together.
Well, you definitely helped me for sure, because I was lucky enough to be asked by Laura if I would like to do 21 Days of Resilience, which we ended, about 2 weeks ago? It must have been.
Yeah. I think we started on a new moon.
Yes.
A while ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And it definitely came at a time. It's funny because the WhatsApp group that you created, I feel like everybody said, "Oh my God, this has just come at the perfect time. This is something that I really, really need right now." And throughout them whole 21 days, I mean, we spoke about lots of different things. Of presence is power, and stillness is superpower, and focus on the good, and the good will grow, and just all of these lovely little things with different small tasks every day, and just small things that just remind you that it doesn't take a lot to do these tiny little things, but there's such big changes in your life.
That is the thing. That is totally the thing.
It's crazy because I did what's the other 21 days with Deepak It's a meditation one that I did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've done one.
So I did one of them at the beginning as well, and I did really enjoy that. Obviously they were a little bit they were longer, these tasks, but your ones were, a lot of them were quite short, and it made me just realize it's just nice short reminders that it's so easy to be able to, you know, feel good without having to change like your whole lifestyle.
Yeah, totally.
And I've said this to you so many times, I really, really enjoyed it. So this is the main reason I wanted to talk to you and have you here on the podcast, is because I know that there's just so many other people that you can help and maybe, you know, give a little bit of advice to. So I would like to talk a little bit about the 21 days of resilience and kind of the idea behind it, and maybe just go through some of the tasks and some of the things that we spoke about.
Yeah. Well, again, 21 day resilience challenge. I did something similar. I think I did a Deepak type thing. There's lots of challenges out there, lots of 21 day things.
Why is it always 21 days? Just out of curiosity.
Because a habit can be made or broken. It kind of takes 21 days. That's the that's the science behind the 21 days. If you quit smoking or something like that, or whatever, like if you give it 21 days, you kind of like formed a new habit or broken a habit. It's not, the 21 day resilience challenge wasn't like, right, I want you to practice gratitude for 21 days, and in 21 days you will have, you know, this practice kind of a new habit or whatever. It was kind of like, what I like to do with my clients, and what I really believe in, is this kind of combination of fuel and really understanding what fuel you need as a unique human being to feel as well as you can. And that kind of fuel, obviously it can be things like actual like eating and your nutrition and stuff like that, sleep, moving, all that kind of stuff that we spoke about in the challenge. But it's also things like, how are you talking to yourself in your own head? Like, how are you showing up for you, basically? Like, how are you showing up for you? Because that is the place where everything starts from. It doesn't start on the outside of you. It starts in you. So you got to give yourself all that love and like put yourself first. And like you say, find those little pockets. It's not that much time that you need to do every day. Find those little pockets of things just to kind of refuel you. And then the fuel, and then with kind of an understanding and appreciation that you are a unique human being and you are here on this planet as you for a reason, right? And you beat like 400 trillion to 1 odds to be here as you. So why are we spending so much time like hating on some of the stuff that we do and like hating some of our characteristics? And I kind of talked in the challenge about writing down some of the things that you love about yourself and some of your strengths, and then maybe writing down some of the things that you don't love about yourself and your maybe your weaknesses and stuff. And really starting to understand like and unravel these weaknesses and the things that you push down and the things that you almost annoy yourself about yourself, and just understanding those more and embracing you as a whole human being. Yeah. Right? And because we are a whole human being and we can't be on fire and absolutely on our A game all the time, because it just wouldn't. All of the emotions that we feel, all of the like lowest energies, all of the kind of shadows, like everything in life, everything in existence is all about kind of, it has some kind of duality. So there's like, you know, you can't have day without night. Yeah. You can't have light without dark, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, there's this kind of appreciation of like some of the shadows of us and some of the things that we don't love about ourselves, that we kind of need those, and they're actually there to help us and support us, and maybe they're there to help us shine in other areas. And, just it kind of an acceptance of us as a whole human being, because when we get comfy in our skin, and we kind of just embrace who we are, and we realize that we don't have to be perfect, because it doesn't exist, and everyone's just trying to figure out what's going on in the world. Like, every single being on this planet right now is living this moment for the first time.
Yeah.
So, why do we all think that we're supposed to, know what's going on?
Isn't it really crazy when you think of that? I'm just trying to get my head around that. That is actually really weird to think. We're all, this time right now, nobody else has lived. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of right, we're all just figuring it out. No matter, what you look at someone, on Instagram or whatever, and you're like, wow, they have got their shit together. No, they haven't. Don't worry about them. Everyone's on a different journey.
I'm the worst for that. I'm terrible.
I think I'm going to go on a bit of an Insta kind of
detox
over the break, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Exactly. All the kind of constant comparison to other people, it doesn't necessarily do us any good. And something that absolutely totally shifted my life and my energy was this understanding that every person is seeing the world in a different way, right? Because you've had your own entire life, you've had all your experiences, all of the stories that have been put on you by your where you were brought up, your culture, your environment, your family, your friends, yourself. And then all of those experiences and things that have shaped your life and the things that you care about. And how what you see is very, very different to someone else. So everyone in the world has a different perception on the same experience.
Yeah.
When can we just release worrying about other people and how they're judging us, because we don't know.
Exactly.
All that
how we judge other people sometimes. We you have no idea what that person's going through or the way that they're seeing it, right?
Yeah, you just don't know. And people show you, how much of you do you show the world? Probably a tiny little tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Not because you're being secretive, but you've just got so much stuff going on in your own life, your own head, whatever. And you just kind of show, even some of your friends, close friends, you show them bits of you, not all of you. And, so we just don't know what's going on in someone's life, and we can't judge what they're showing us, because that's a tiny little bit. So always to have compassion for others, and have compassion for ourselves, really, is it's just game changing, because we're trying our best, right?
Yeah, we're trying our best,
really. And then so there's the fuel, then kind of being authentic and being you. And then there's following your heart and following your passion and doing what excites you, and finding the fun.
Yes.
Right? So we did an exercise. Did we do a visualization? We went to our happy place
We did.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah. And I really liked that one. I liked all of them, really, but yeah, that was a nice one.
Yeah. So we just kind of go on a bit of a journey throughout that challenge. That's kind of what I built the challenge on that premise that if we fuel ourselves, if we get comfy in our own skin and we follow our hearts, there's this kind of unstoppable flow and this amazing combination.
Yeah.
And that's how we're supposed to live, and that builds resilience.
One that I really liked was accept that you're exactly where you're meant to be right now.
Yeah.
Because going back to what we were saying about, comparing yourself, and I'm not as bad as I used to be. When I was younger, I used to be terrible. Well, how is that person presenting this and doing that? And I'm still here. And I've definitely learned, because it used to give me a lot of anxiety. Mm-hmm. But now, just reminding yourself sometimes that, okay, I am supposed to be here right now, and this is meant to be. It makes everything feel just so much easier and simpler in a way.
Totally. It's when you realize that, all of the stress and the tension that you're carrying, which you don't even know about sometimes, it just kind of melts. Don't you feel it's you've just taken a big deep breath for the first time, and you're oh my God, that pressure's gone. I am here. If you're ever in a situation, you're doing a gig, or you're in a meeting or whatever, and or you're presenting or whatever, and you're really nervous or stressed or whatever, know that you're supposed to be there. Otherwise you wouldn't be there. And you're supposed to be there as you.
It makes everything feel so much easier. And makes you feel so much calm.
It sounds simple. Like life away, and then we get stressed out, and it's like,
and then we're stood in front of 400 people about to present something. Probably
I'm not meant to be here. This feels like shit.
Why am I still on this stage?
Do this? Yeah, exactly. But we've got this idea of like having to be perfect in everything that we do, and it's like perfection doesn't exist, right? Like, what does perfect mean? Because that you presenting in a perfect way means nothing to like the 400 people that you're presenting to, because like they've got their lives and their stories and their perception of that situation and their idea of what's perfect. So
exactly.
Let's just have some fun.
Exactly. We're here to have a good time. Don't make it stressful and unenjoyable. Another thing that I really enjoyed as well was one was we spoke a bit about present and being present, and also stillness, and just Do you know what?
That word.
Sorry?
Even just saying the word stillness, you're like,
I know.
Oh,
I know.
That feels good.
When we were doing the challenge, I got myself into a really lovely routine, actually, and it's something that I've carried on doing since we started. I'm quite an early riser anyway. I wake up early. I like to start my day early. We have a 4-month-old puppy who's probably you can hear running about right now under my feet. And so he gets you up even earlier. So my routine lately has been 6 a.m. wake up. I'm out the house with him at 6:15, go for a walk, come back, I'll tidy the house up a little bit, put my candles on, and then I put my headphones in and just listen to you, look out the window, and then do my tasks. And it was just such a lovely way to start the day, and just made me feel so, so calm. Just even listening to you and your like lovely, nice pauses between each sentence. I could listen all day.
Slow down. Let's just slow down. But
one thing that has made me realize is that I never ever used to give myself that time for myself, even if it was just 10, 15 minutes, even 5 minutes, and just literally sit there in silence with my cup of tea and just, either write down some ideas or anything that's coming up for me. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that and how important it is to have that space, create that space for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's everything. I think we're kind of got conditioned to always be doing, and I think one of the big things that to kind of remember is that we're human beings, right? We're not human doings. We're not put on this planet to we have to, we're worthy or successful or whatever because we've created something and we've accomplished something. Like we're fine as we are, you were born worthy. But we can, and it's great to achieve stuff, and it's great because we get excited about things, and we are here, humans do create stuff and we evolve, and that's, amazing. But we've kind of lost this idea of and I think some people, and I do as well, feel a bit guilty when we're not doing anything.
I'm the worst too, yeah.
I'm like, oh, something's wrong because I'm just kind of sat here having a cup of tea. What do I need to be doing? What do I need to be doing?
Yeah.
It's just that knowledge and just I don't know, it's comforting to know that we're a human being. So just kind of creating space to be is such a beautiful practice. And, it's like anything, it is a practice. It takes a bit of time if you're not used to it. And I know, meditation is just incredible for just bringing you back to now, bringing you back to the moment, because we spend so much time kind of in the future or in the past. We're worrying about things that are potentially probably never going to happen in the future. And what a waste of energy is that? And we're kind of going over things and going, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. Why did I have it? Baby, it's gone. You can't do anything about it. Let it go. Learn the lesson. Everything's a lesson, isn't it? Or a blessing.
Yeah.
And try and be present. So I think, and when you're in the now, it's just Oh God, actually, I'm okay. I'm actually fine in the now. You know, even if there's big stuff going on for you, you kind of like come back. And then we talk actually in the challenge about breathing being that anchor to now.
Yeah.
You know, you have like your breath, like you can always come back to now because you just need to connect to your breath. And
because that's like the only present thing, like the most present thing that you can listen to.
If you're like focusing on your breath, then you're not thinking about anything else, are you? Like you're here. So I think it's really, it's so important. And like, that's why I say stillness is a superpower, because that's the place that we can kind of connect with ourselves again, like the space within us. And we spend so much time rushing around, kind of, and being influenced by the external stuff that we forget that everything we need, our kind of like intuition, our guidance, our strength, peace, everything is actually within us. And it's just connecting to that. It just kind of brings us back. And then we're like, oh my God. And then actually, sometimes in all the rushing around, we don't really notice what our body or whatever is trying to kind of tell us. We have warning signs for everything, but we just don't hear them sometimes. And we don't listen. And I think sometimes this is why people struggle with meditation or, you know, actually being still, is because that's when like the emotions come up and you're like, wow, that is painful. That is big.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Like, I'm going to push that down. But actually, it's this kind of like, okay, this acceptance of what is, and just kind of going, okay, well, knowing that every emotion is there to kind of help. Everything kind of is temporary and it passes through us. As long as we don't focus on it, for, you know, forever and sit in that space and dwell on it for too long. But it's just that kind of like knowing that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have all of those feelings. We are like I said, that whole human being with all of these different emotions. And it's really in that space, in that stillness, that we can figure out a lot of stuff. And then we can acknowledge stuff and we can understand it, and then we can let it go.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you get to a point where you've done that. Because I think a lot of people, sometimes people talk about being positive all the time. And I'm definitely one of those people. I kind of believe that we don't have to be positive all the time. I think it's more about being real, and it's being, you know, authentic and true, and kind of feeling into our feelings. And so we kind of have to stop in order to do that.
Yeah.
And be still and like feel what's coming up, and then help release it. And then, like, you know, we're just so recharged and replenished after we've had that time.
It's so true, because you, especially with social media as well, everybody, and I remember at the beginning of the first lockdown that we had, and there was, obviously everybody was really trying to support everybody else and let's stay positive. But you do kind of get to a point where you're like, but I feel like I'm pushing all of these different emotions and things that are happening to me down, and I'm not really, you know, spending time and feeling them and accepting them and trying to work out why I feel that way. And then it kind of just ends up turning into like a big bomb, because one day you just explode and then it's even worse. So I totally get what you mean. Sometimes it's instead of just always trying to be super, super positive, just be realistic and real and understand your feelings and accept them, even though it is obviously so much easier said than done.
Yeah. But like you say, it'll always come and bite you in the ass. If there's something to be said, like the universe will say it, like, so, and it will come out bigger eventually. Like, so it's like, it's good to kind of deal with things at the time. It's like if you have an argument with someone, it's like, okay, well, should we leave it for like 3 months and then blow up and talk about it? Or should we actually discuss this now when it's fresh and we understand what it is?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, let's kind of understand this. But then, like you said before, you like the idea of focusing on the good, and the good grows. You can, it's kind of up to you when you've acknowledged an emotion and you kind of understand it a bit more. It's up to you you then have the power to focus your energy on whatever you wish. So if you wish to sit in that space of like, oh my God, you know, everything's shit and da 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 for a long time, then you're kind of then almost keeping yourself there. And you have the power to choose to go, okay, well, I'm going to accept this. this is something I'm going to try and maybe change in the future, or, you know, accept whatever the feeling is, understand it, let it go, do whatever's in your control. And then kind of move through it. So we're kind of like water, and we're kind of flowing and moving, rather than it being sat in that kind of like big lake of like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to talk a little bit about the importance of balance as well. Obviously, the music career, maybe not so much at this present moment in time, but it's just so fast paced and everything is just so quick that sometimes, you know, time just flies by so quickly, and you look back and you think, like, where did that time go? What have I done?
Yeah.
You know, so I'd like to talk a little bit about finding balance between, especially between, you know, your career and your personal life, your feelings.
I mean, I guess personally, I mean, we've spoke actually, didn't we, about just kind of simply writing down and identifying like different areas in your life. So just like on a Monday when I do like to-do lists and things like that, and like look towards the week ahead, I tend to like write down like 4 sections, and like one section is like my work stuff, and that's always like crazy full. And then I've got like life stuff, so out of work, and you know, obviously work is life. But you know, your social stuff and whatever, so that's kind of not been as full this year. And then like love and stuff, so like your relationships and your friends and like, you know, your family, your tribe, all that kind of stuff, what's going on in that list and or that area of your life. And then self-love, so how am I kind of fueling myself, how am I replenishing myself, like am I doing some yoga this week, or like a sound bath, or like am I going for a run, like am I sitting still and being. Yeah. And just kind of, not that it's all like, I mean, I'm a Virgo, so I'm kind of quite a planner, but like like my life is then like structured, and you know, things don't move. But I think it really helps to go, okay, well, this is totally out of balance, because like my work's like space is completely and utterly bursting at the seams. Like, how can I start redressing this balance? Like, I can't always be kind of working and pushing and pushing and pushing, because like you say, balance is important. And like, in order to do all of the work stuff and the bigger stuff, I need to have the energy.
Yeah.
And, you know, we all know, like when we've pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and focused on one area, you do burn out. Mm-hmm. And like burnout is real, and you know, it's quite a debilitating thing when you actually burn out. It's hard to come back from.
Yeah.
So it's better to kind of like redress that balance as much as you can. And actually, I've been I work with like the cycles of the moon, and I have done for years now. Well, probably around 4 years actually. So since my kind of big like moment of the universe waking me up a bit. And I think that really helps kind of address the balance as well, because there's this idea that like in a new moon, when the moon is dark in the sky, you know, the moon's gone, that's a really beautiful time for all of us to kind of like take a step back from all the doing and be, and to kind of almost wipe the slate clean, have a bit of a reflection on like what's happened in the last month or so, have a look to the future, like what wishes, what dreams, what do I intend to do? You know, what's not working for me? What do I need to kind of like shift around? And kind of have a moment to go within and to create that space for yourself, just to kind of go, okay. And, you know, on a new moon time, you don't have as much energy, but you have a wicked intuition. Yeah. So that's when you kind of like get the guidance. You're like, right, okay, what I want to listen to myself, like all the answers, I have all the answers. I just need to create some space to listen. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of then push up, and there's more energy and more energy and more energy going up to the full moon, which is about 2 weeks, obviously. So you're kind of putting some action behind those intentions to make your wishes come true, essentially. And you keep putting more energy and more energy and more energy until you get to the full moon, when, like, you know, the moon is like bright in the sky and it's illuminating everything, and it illuminates all the shadows, and you have more energy, but you kind of might be a bit like not quite as intuitive. Your head might be a bit foggy or whatever. And then that is a really beautiful time to kind of celebrate what you've done and all the work and all the effort, all the action, and then think, right, what do I want to release? Like, boom. And I do like full moon rituals and things, and write down all the things that I want to release at that time, like once a month, and then write down all the people that I want to forgive, because not forgiving people is kind of like quite a heavy
something you hold on to.
Exactly. And then I rip those lists up or burn them or whatever, usually burn them, and then write a list of gratitude and fill all that space in with some beautiful like gratitude. And then you kind of then going back down to the new moon, and you're just kind of getting a bit slower and a bit slower and a bit slower, and kind of creating space to receive some of the stuff that you've asked for and you've worked for. So I think that just gives you balance. You know, when you do that kind of monthly cycle.
That's really nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nature has all the answers.
Yeah, I should definitely follow that as well. Where are we at the moment with the moon cycle?
We had a new moon in Sagittarius on Monday. Yeah, a new moon solar eclipse. So it's like, so the moon's obviously always in a sign, and then a sign is kind of connected to a certain energy or whatever. The Sagittarius energy on Monday, it's that Sagittarians are very, very like adventurous and very kind of like optimistic and like kind of lucky, I guess. And it's like, right, what do we want to do? So when we were making our wishes and stuff and setting our intentions on Monday, we might have felt that kind of energy of like, right, I need to travel, I need some adventure, like what do I want for like 2021, like let's go. So it was kind of quite optimistic, big energy, which was nice. So yeah, I guess well, kind of in the next week or so we would be putting a bit more energy and, you know, and fire behind our intentions of what we want to create for the rest of the year. But to be honest, like, you know, we're coming up to winter solstice, which is the 20th. Yeah, next Tuesday, I think, here in London. Okay. And that's just a time to just chill out, you know, like shortest day, darkest, longest night.
Yeah,
go within and just recharge, you know. I guess you've probably got people that listen who might not be in our hemisphere. So the opposite, go out and party if you can.
Yeah, go have fun for us. You mentioned before that as a Virgo, you're a planner. So I wanted to ask you, because I have this thing with myself that I plan everything. Like I have everything written down, and I really like planning. I love my first like thing that I do every morning and on an evening, like writing down what my day's going to be like that next day.
Practice, yeah,
which is good. But one thing that I have found is that when something doesn't go to plan, it just kind of really baffles me, and I can't concentrate on anything else. Well, I can, obviously, I get on with it, but I find it difficult to accept in a way that my plan has been changed and it's not going how it should be. So what would you say to that? Like, how do I get around something like that?
What is it you're kind of like, what's the emotion that's coming up? Like, what are you kind of...
Anxiety. It makes me anxious.
You want to control stuff? Like, you're just kind of like, right, I've done my plan. Universe, this is what's happening. And then when it doesn't go your way, it's kind of like...
Maybe I'm just a bit of a control freak.
I think like always, like being resilient, like resilience is really the ability to cope with changes and setbacks and obstacles and kind of see the obstacles as an opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, you know, doing all that kind of stuff that we've said, and then an acceptance of what is. Yeah. I think that was one of the days on the voice note you got from me one morning, going, accept what is today. La, la, la. And it's just an acceptance of what is. And almost like in those moments, kind of understanding there's a bigger picture and like everything's working for you. This is what I do. Everything in the bigger picture is working for you. So if something doesn't work out right now, it's usually going to lead to something bigger and better.
Yeah.
You know,
I guess it's happening for a reason, maybe.
Yeah, it's all happening for a reason. But in the moment, because we're so in the detail and like, but I've come up with this plan, and we're so kind of like in that day, and just we kind of forget that actually when we kind of whiz out, maybe in those moments, if you can kind of like whiz out of Katie and almost have a little bird's eye view of your month, of your year, of your life, and go, okay, so how much do I give a shit about this now?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like, okay, so, you know, I mean, then you potentially would not give a shit about anything that happened in your life, but like it maybe zoom back in a little bit, but like, you know, and then understanding the stuff that you care about and understanding the stuff that's important to you. Because it's good to kind of care, isn't it? It's good to be passionate, and like you're very like I don't know, you're very conscientious and you want to do a good job and you want to deliver good stuff. So it's that's beautiful. But I guess like giving yourself a bit of a break when.
Yeah, I think I'm just a bit too hard on myself sometimes. What are like the biggest causes of burnout that you see in your clients in the entertainment industry?
Oh, I think it is probably just the not stopping, the constantly doing, the constantly pushing, not fueling yourself as much as you need. And I think, you know, there's so many of those days where we just, especially now, we're kind of sat in front of tech all day. And we might actually feel fine. We feel good, like in the moment. But for hours and hours and hours and hours, we're kind of basically like in a concrete room or, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
In a man-made structure surrounded by tech and just kind of not really fueling ourselves and not doing anything that is going to kind of replenish ourselves and not taking a moment to step back and not having a break or changing our perspective or changing our scene or getting into nature, which, I mean, getting into nature is just the most soothing thing you can do. Best. And that's what I've yearned for this year is nature. Like, I'm just like, I'm very lucky I can see some kind of trees and stuff outside of my flat in London, but, you know, like, that's kind of it. But yeah, I think it's usually it's when people just don't stop. They're kind of powering through, and not really understanding the balance, I guess, not readdressing the balance and taking moments for them to fuel themselves with whatever it is that they need. And then kind of being thrown by all of the external stuff and the external noise and stuff as well. You know, we have a lot of energy that kind of gets sucked away, worrying about things that really, again, don't kind of matter. And they feel very real, but like we were talking about the kind of Instagram kind of world and stuff like that. And you're constantly comparing yourself and you're constantly needing that external validation and the likes and this like post didn't do so well and like do people not love me anymore or, you know, I don't know, whatever. And it's like none of like that's all external. Like we've kind of said, like everyone has a different perception on the world anyway.
Yeah.
And everything that you need to feel good is actually within you. So it's kind of like living too much in the external world, I guess, and forgetting that you've got the answers inside.
Yeah, no, definitely. I really liked what you said about, you know, what we spoke about at the beginning. You've just mentioned again now about other people's perspectives, because it's something we definitely just don't remind ourselves enough. Which is mad because it's so small. I could speak to you for honestly hours. We don't have
speaking to you, Katie.
We're gonna have to do another episode, a few more episodes.
Yeah.
But just to finish, obviously, right now we are at a time where there's just so much going on in the world, so much. And it's a difficult time for a lot of people. So I just wondered if there are any like practices or, you know, any exercises, small things that people can just do at home just to give them that little extra boost of energy that they might be needing right now.
Absolutely. I mean, I think definitely checking in with what fuel you need. We did this visualization on the challenge where you just kind of get comfortable and close your eyes and connect with your breathing and just start to think of like the things that make you smile, the things that light you up, and, the things that you really enjoy doing, and allow yourself to kind of be immersed in that happy place, that, that beautiful, soothing, or maybe energizing space or whatever it is for a while. And then just kind of understand some of the things all the answers are in there probably. That's like you at your absolute unstoried kind of most beautiful, true essence. Like that's you at your happiest. So in that visualization, in that environment, in that space, you will find stuff that you need. And like for me, it's always kind of I'm on a beach in Ibiza or whatever, but like, and I can't do that. You can do that for me. I'm sure. But so that's nature. So I need nature. I have to go out. That is my thing that absolutely fuels me back up, recharges. Leave my phone at home for an hour, go and have a walk, go and just notice nature and be, So kind of understand what it is that you need and try and do that as often as you can. And like you say, it's only little bits sometimes. Sometimes sitting down for 10 minutes with a cup of tea.
Yeah.
No noise. So no Instagram. Being where you are, like making sure that when you're having your lunch or whatever, you're actually having your lunch. You're not scrolling through your emails, like chatting on WhatsApp, like you've got the TV on, whatever. Just kind of like being in that moment and allowing yourself to be. But I think something that's beautiful, and it's the most simple thing to practice, is gratitude. And it can really, really shift any kind of like, when you just feel a bit stuck in that kind of like negative spiral of like, and life is not easy at times, and we're on this roller coaster. Some big things are happening at the moment. So, but it's all kind of external to us. And when we just sit, if we just sit for like 60 seconds or whatever in the morning with your cup of tea or whatever, and just start writing down some of the things that you're grateful for. Yeah. And there will be stuff. And it might be that, you've got a comfy bed to sleep in and you woke up in a comfy bed or whatever, or you've got a roof over your head, you've got food in the fridge, you can see the sun or, whatever. Like there will always be something. And then when you start kind of practicing that gratitude, it kind of like shifts your energy and your perspective. And over time, that practice really retrains your brain to kind of see the good and see the opportunity rather than the obstacle. And, that's our choice. We do have that choice, but it feels heavy and it feels hard to do when you're in that space of like, I am not grateful today.
Yeah, I'm not grateful for anything today.
Give yourself a break and have one of those days. Like, just whatever, I'm done today. And then come back fresh the next day.
Yeah, definitely. My mum said to me the other day, and I didn't even know that she did this. And I was like, that's so sweet. That for quite a while now, every time she goes to bed, when she just puts her head down on the pillow, she thinks about all the things that she thinks of. I don't know if she said to me 5 or 6 things that she's grateful for. So but them 6 things, when she gets to number 6, she's asleep. So she thinks, so it just makes her really like get into a really calm state, thinking of all the things that she's thankful and grateful for in life. By 6, she's asleep. I was like, that's so sweet. I didn't know you did that. Yeah.
It's a really good time to do it, actually, because then you kind of go into your sleep space. It helps you sleep.
Yeah.
You get there. But then you kind of have more beautiful dreams. And apparently it's a really good time to kind of manifest stuff. So if you go to sleep in that space of gratitude, rather than kind of the space of lack and worrying and everything's a nightmare, like that space of gratitude, then that'll kind of follow through into your dreams and you'll be able to manifest some of the stuff that you want to attract into your life. Because, what you put out there is what you get back.
That's what you get back. It is.
Simple.
Laura, listen. No, I feel so calm now. This has been such a lovely way to. You're my last podcast of 2020. I was going to carry on recording over Christmas, and actually, after doing the 21 days of resilience, I was like, I'm actually going to give myself a break because I'm really tired. I'm done with this year and I'm just going to relax. And I thought, you know what? ending with Laura is like the best way I could end 2020 with a massive, massive boost of positivity. So thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thanks so much for having me, and enjoy your break. You deserve it. Like,
thank you.
No,
I'm so excited. What time is it? It's Friday 12. Few more hours and I'm done.
Yeah.
How?
Really enjoy yourself. And I hope your parents and your brother get to be all right.
Oh, I hope so too. We're putting it out there. It will happen. It will happen.
Let it just go with the flow today and see what happens, right?
Yeah, I will. And for everybody listening, I'll put all of Laura's contact details in the comments below. So if you would like to contact her, then you can. And also your Instagram and website I'll put up as well.
Perfect. Thanks, darling.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely Christmas.